You see this cardinal sin in many a person's statements. Don't worry about the fact that you don't have the best work experience. And this is a very important technique that you need to use. Today, we're going to talk about how to write the killer personal statement. So if you follow these tips, you will be guaranteed that your personal statement will be at the top end of the spectrum of all the students applying for your course. Let's talk about what you shouldn't write in there. So here's a quick list of all those things in 30 seconds. No name, no number, no address, no obvious information that's already on the UCAS form, no life story, no sub story, a list of all the things that you've done, writing about multiple different subjects, writing about multiple different courses, topics not relevant to your course, writing descriptively, copying other people's personal statement, copying the internet, copying from the books, just copying in general. Grammatical errors, spelling mistakes, written by someone else. So those are the things that you don't want to do. Okay, so we're going to look at stuff directly from the horse's mouth. So I'm not going to try to reinvent the wheel initially. I'm going to give you some straightforward points that you definitely need in your personal statement. Key point number one, which is show, don't tell. What I see a lot of students doing is they often talk about, I'm really passionate about the subject, I love medicine or I love engineering, but they don't actually tell. And this is a very important technique that you need to use. Explore your subject beyond the school curriculum. You want to show the top universities that you are not just an average A-level student who knows the content of A-level syllabus, you actually know beyond that syllabus. As an example, my own wife, she studied optometry. So one of the points I like to highlight here that she mentions, which really makes her stand out, is this point here. It says, it was absorbing to read and develop my knowledge regarding the complexity of the cornea and how intriguingly it is the only part of the body without blood supply. This is something that you do not pick up from A-level biology. So this is showing to the tutors, the admission tutors, that this person is a dedicated person. They've actually gone above and beyond their specification. So explore your subject beyond the school's curriculum. So the idea is that you want to show that you have that initial interest and that spark to go above and beyond. Discuss and don't list. You see this cardinal sin in many a person's statements. Lots of students have done lots of different activities. Maybe they've volunteered at a hospital, maybe they've done some hospice work, etc., etc. They start listing all of these down. So the point is to show the admissions tutor what you have learned or gained, which is relevant to the course. Steer clear of being corny or cliched. Yes and no. This varies, depends on what they mean by being cliched. Make it personal. A lot of students talk about the subject and forget to talk about themselves. Remember, it is a personal statement. So it is a statement about you. So this is Anatomy of a Personal Statement. I dug this up from the medicine course at Oxford. And again, they talk about a few different things here. So let's analyze what they're talking about and what we can learn from this. This is the personal statement, and then there's some feedback here that's given. So choosing to study medicine is not a decision I've taken lightly. It isn't a career I have wanted to do since a particularly young age, nor did a life-changing event prompt my choice. I've thought very long and hard before deciding to apply. Let's see what they say. Admissions tutors may be skeptical of exaggerated description. So look, it's about being true and honest, yeah? Even if you've got flaws, show them. That makes you you. It's a very big misconception to think that, oh, you've got to show you're perfect. No, I think it's not about showing that you're Mr. Perfect and you play for England under 16 cricket team and you do backflips in your sleeve. The introduction shows honesty. So they mentioned that you're looking for honesty and you are looking for motivation. Effectively, you won't prove that you have motivation by just stating that you do. Again, remember, show, not tell. You won't be judged on what you've done. We want to know what you've learned doing it. Okay, so they know that not everyone has connections with doctors and engineers. It is okay, even if you're talking about gaming and discussing how that relates to the manual dexterity of being a dentist. Absolutely valid point if you can make that connection. So don't worry about the fact that you don't have the best work experience, especially in the COVID era. They're looking for the fact that you have intellectual curiosity. Intellectual curiosity you can show and you don't need to tell. So we come back to that example where my wife mentioned that the cornea, it has a specific fact that no other student would know. It's not something that you randomly find. This is very relevant to the optometry course that she was applying for. You can also mention communication skills. So these are some of the skills that you might want to bring out. Analytical skills, and these are absolutely crucial skills in any subject. You need to look at what competencies you need for your course and try to weave them into your essay. Then we've got this non-academic interest part. So you also see that they mentioned that you focus about 80% of your personal statement on academic things and about 20% on extracurricular things. That's a figure to keep in mind. Obviously, the lower down you go in terms of universities, then you don't need to be so academic in terms of university rankings. The higher the university ranking, and that's what this video is focused towards, you want to keep it academic. So one of the things that you guys can do is reference your subjects that you're studying at A-level. Most students that I see their personal statements that send it to me, I don't really notice this. I remember when I did mine, I talked about the fact that I did maths, I did physics, and at A level, and I literally talked about how I loved that and how that connected to the engineering that I wanted to do. Don't be afraid to talk about your A levels and your subject choices. You want to show that you are enthusiastic. That's why you've chosen them, not because someone told you you need to do chemistry and biology for medicine.
That's the end of part 1. If you found that helpful and you want to see the next part, click like and I can get it published.